My name is Jodre Arense. I'm from a company called Breathless Nomad, and we do adventure tourism at the Witzands Aquifer Nature Reserve, commonly known as the Atlantis Dunes, in the Western Cape of South Africa. So the setup behind us, you'll find our normal setup that we have for clients if they come and do multiple activities and spend a couple of hours at the dunes. As you can see by the weather today, it can be quite hot. So we set up tents and we set up a bit of a lounge area for people. So then they can lounge here in between doing the activities. So the Atlantis Dunes is a nature reserve. The official name is the Witzands Aquifer Nature Reserve. And it houses, well, according to my knowledge, it's got two predominant reasons that it exists. It's to protect the fynbos that's here. Some of them are endangered, some of them are critically endangered. And then underneath our feet, there's a massive aquifer that supplies water to all the surrounding neighborhoods. In Cape Town specifically, diving on the beaches is not, I think, permissible. I know it's restricted quite a bit because of the wildlife that you find there. That's what makes the dunes an ideal alternative to come and ride on. The sand is very similar to beach sand, it's very soft, but you have the permission to drive around it because most of the vegetation is on the outer laying areas, and obviously all the fauna, if I can put it that way, is also on the outside, so you don't really disturb them, and that's what makes it perfect for you to come and drive here, as opposed to the beach where there's a lot of restrictions. The car behind me is a Jeep Wrangler. It's a V6. It's quite a powerful engine that we've got in this car. It's a standard engine, but it performs quite well on the actual sand dunes. Just about the construction of the car, it's a nice square looking box shape vehicle. It's got a detachable roof, so if you want to, you can take the roof off it as well. It's got some 17-inch tires. It's mud terrain tires. When deflated, it gives you a lot of traction on the soft sand that we have here at the dunes, which makes it optimal for climbing up dunes and not getting stuck as easily as you would having firmer tires. So the suspension on our vehicle is not standard either. We've upgraded it slightly just to make the ride comfortable and just a little bit more smoother as we go over the dunes. If you look at the bottom, you will see it at the bottom here. It is some Terraflex shock absorbers that we've got, or suspension that we've got in here that makes our ride a lot more easier. So guys, this is what it looks like under the hood. As you can see, there is a bit of a sand element to it, and that's why it's important to always change your filters on the actual car itself. And the reason for that, you don't want it to clog up because it'll affect the performance of your car as you go along in the dunes. So you need to clean it out as regularly as possible, okay? Standard engine in our vehicle is a V6 engine that we've got in here. You literally just replace some of the most basic things. You buy oil, you do spark plugs and all those things. And normally where we go is Goldwagen in Montague Gardens. They normally supply us with all the things that we need for our vehicle to make sure that it runs optimally. So basically, guys, what we will be doing here is deflating the tires to make sure that it runs optimally on the actual sand. The more deflated it is, the less power you have to use in your vehicle, and the smoother it runs on top of the sand. So I'll show you guys how that is done. Normally we go down to 1 bar with our tires. This makes it nice and soft and gives us that surface area to operate nicely on the dunes. So if you don't deflate the tires normally cause a lot of slippage, or it spins quite a lot, so you use a lot more of your engine power, whereas if it's deflated, it just runs a lot smoother, the traction is a lot better. Now I'm just deflating it to the optimal deflated level, which is 1 bar for us, which will ensure that we enjoy our dune bashing a little bit more than we would have if the tires were a lot firmer.
There's no specific route in the dunes. You kind of need to figure out your way, and a lot of people do get lost. Here the thing is white, 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 white. So you can get disorientated and you can get lost. But there's a lot of helpful people here. There's a community of 4x4 enthusiasts that operate at the dunes that always help you, even if you're stuck or if you're lost. People love doing 4x4 adventures at the dunes because it can be very technical. There's a lot of people that are crazy about the technical aspects of it. There's people that do drifting with their 4x4s that come over here. But this is a family destination. You can literally come here, set up your gazebo, drive around, not do the crazy stuff like the technical guys would do, but enjoy the dunes. So basically, guys, what we will be doing here is deflating the tires to make sure that it runs optimally on the actual sand. The more deflated it is, the less power you have to use in your vehicle as you go along in the dunes. You need to clean it out as regularly as possible, okay?
and you can still just have a lot of fun. Bring a sandboard with you, come and play with your kids in the sand. So that's what makes this place very unique. The landscapes in itself is very beautiful. So if you come here for the first time, you will be in awe. You don't expect this to be in the middle of Cape Town or in Cape Town, but it's a very beautiful setting. And just driving around here in your vehicle that is capable of driving in here makes it very special. When it comes to driving the dunes, you need to work, especially when it's going up a dune, you need to work with momentum. If you've got momentum on your side, it prevents you from getting stuck. And that's the only thing. So if you drive very slow and all of a sudden the sand is very soft and you allow your tires to spin because it's not deflated, then you will get stuck. You'll just dig deeper and deeper into the actual sand dunes. But if you work with momentum, you just keep on going and keep on rolling, and it makes it less likely for you to get stuck. If you do get stuck, do not keep on going if you see that your vehicle is going nowhere. What that's going to cause is the wheels are just going to spin and you're going to dig deeper and deeper and deeper into trouble than you already are. Try and move slightly backwards and forwards. If you're stuck on an incline, instead of going forward, just reverse. And then that'll make it a lot easier for you to get out of that position where you are stuck. So this is where we can go down a dune, but if you don't expect what it looks like, you can be in a lot of danger. So normally what you have to do is, if you see something on top of a hill, don't just assume you can drive down. Stop, get out, survey the area, and then make a decision as if you can go down there or not. So the landscape in the Atlantis Dunes changes quite often depending on how the wind blows. If you get a very strong wind, it can change overnight. So which means if you're used to a certain terrain looking a certain way today and there's heavy winds tonight, it might not look the same, and it's always advisable to always check where you drive before you actually drive there and not just assume that it will be like it was the night before. You can see, guys, what it looks like on the other side if you do not expect it. And this is what happens if the wind blows. It can change the shape of the decline dramatically. And if you do not expect this coming down with your vehicle, you can cause a massive accident. Thank you for joining us today at the Atlantis Dunes. Whenever you're in the Western Cape again, give Breathless Nomad a call and we'll show you around.